One size fits all, right? One size fits all is what most people say in this industry. It's what most gurus and courses and education programs say is one size fits all, right? And what today's guest discovered is that one size does not fit all, but instead, each person is a unique person with a unique life. And this education and these skills are going to work out differently for each one of you. Well, he took these skills and used them, is using them now in a really unique way. And this is somebody that's been a part of our community for a long time, and I'm thrilled to have him on the show this morning. Omar, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Really excited.
Oh man, I'm thrilled. It's been many years since we've known each other. You've been in the community, and of course, you filled out your questionnaire and said, do I remember the content challenge that you won? Absolutely, I remember that. And so but I don't know what you've been doing since then. So this is even a treat for me to get an update on where things have gone from you and for you and what you've been up to. So where should we start?
Well, I think we can start from that event, right? From the challenge. Actually,
Okay.
since that moment, I was just in affiliate marketing, trying to learn these skills to refer other people's products, etc. And I was kind of enjoying it. I had my YouTube channel posting daily while having my full-time job, obviously. And but I was having fun, but it didn't work out. For some reason, it didn't, resonate with me. And then the pandemic hit, and I just, kind of stopped and needed to rethink my, my life, my business, right? What to do for the next steps, because that wasn't working for me. I know most people start in this industry, in internet, because of affiliate marketing, but maybe, as you said, one size doesn't fit all. Each person is unique, so that wasn't for me. But I took the skills. I took some time off, and after, I don't know, a few months, I took those skills and start giving what I learned in Legendary and in my previous experiences to other people, building funnels, building websites, helping people brand, etc. So more a service based,
Yeah.
just selling products. Mm-hmm.
So how has that turned out now? And are you happy that that you have the skills and that you're doing what you're doing now? And how is it different, Omar, than what you were doing before? I mean, way back before, when you give us a little bit of an understanding of how things are different, and if getting the skills has been worthwhile for you, or whether it was something that you would do differently if you could do it all over again.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I first started in internet marketing, my intention was to build a blog on parenting and sell affiliate stuff on the blog, right?
Yeah.
Just like also something that people used to make.
Right.
And the difference is that it didn't work out. I didn't have any sale, any traffic. It was a really crap experience, but I learned something. And since
Blogging is hard, by the way. I mean,
blogging is really hard.
Blogging is one of the hardest business models on the internet. I mean, it is. I know that because a previous company that I had was, one major part of what we did was blog. And yeah, it was before, it was just one of the main ways that we generated traffic on the internet for a long time, right? Was SEO, and as you said, the YouTube and the long form videos, which I've got a question for you about how the internet is different now, in terms of TikTok and the short form video. And if you're thinking about, even though you're busy, and this is a great example this morning of somebody who came in, and obviously you started with blogging before you found Legendary, and that was difficult. And then affiliate marketing, and you were doing YouTube, and it was going too slow for you, is really what was happening. It was moving too slow for you, and you have a family, and you needed to generate income. And
Yeah.
so you took the skills and you started to basically use those skills in a way that you could sell, building funnels or setting up people's, which is something that I know it seems really daunting to a lot of you at first. And that's the same exact way your potential clients feel as well, right? So if you get good at it and you can do that for them, that's a valuable skill. And I think, Omar, that's what a lot of people don't realize when they come in. And this is a great conversation to shine some light on that potential, is that so many people get frustrated with the technical side of things. They get so frustrated, and we see it almost every day. I'm ready to throw the towel in on this thing. And but what the truth is, what the truth can also be, I mean, the truth is that it's hard, and you can quit. That can be one truth. But another truth also can be, you can power through it, and you can learn it and figure it out and get good at it. And then you can turn around and sell those services like you're doing now.
Yeah. Or
Most people
actually,
don't see that. Most people don't realize that. So that's why I'm so glad that we're having this conversation this morning. Yes, go ahead.
yeah, what I was about to say is that maybe also people get stuck, um, but maybe because they are not good at the computers, then that's okay. Even if you are stuck, you can just find someone to do it for you. I mean, if you don't have the skills and it's hard for you to learn those specific skills, then focus on the ones that you are good at, and just outsource the rest.
That's true. That's true. Like, yeah, if you feel more comfortable, just like for me, I'll give you an example of me. I've my entire career marketing hated messing with anything technical. Now I will, and I have, because I've had to. I've had to, when I've been the only person that works in my business, I have to do it. But you're right. Anytime that I can avoid doing it, I will have somebody else do it, so I can focus on my most profitable skill, which is, creating content or speaking or writing copy. And so that's a good point. It goes both ways. The skills are valuable and you can use them to make money with, or the skills, somebody else has them and you can hire them if it's really that, if it's something that you don't want to either spend your time on or you don't want to learn. It's also okay to not want to learn certain things, right? It's like, as long as you're consciously saying, you know what, I don't have time to learn that. I need to find a who, not how. And in that case, maybe I would go and hire you to build my funnel for me. It's okay to not want to learn something or not want to do something, but just, I think it's important to be able to be clear about, okay, what exactly am I choosing not to learn, and what, at least that's why I've always thought it was important to at least do something a couple of times, so when you go to hire somebody, you at least know whether they're doing a good job or not. That's always
Exactly.
been my philosophy.
Yeah. Same for me. In my case, it's not the technical stuff; it's the traffic, as you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, after all these tries and errors, what I did was bring people to the team, experts on traffic, and right now we are thrilling. I mean, I don't want to throw numbers, but we are doing really good. Just
You're
by
free. You and your family, you're saying, are free right now in terms of just finances. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
in relying on somebody else or being in a tight spot where you're um can you describe what it meant for you to not be free so we understand what the other side of that is, and
Mhm.
also what does being free mean? Can you give us a little bit more context so
Mhm.
people have an understanding of, sometimes we just have these ideas of what this can do for us, but can you give us some more specifics of what it was like before not being free and then being free now, what that means to you?
Yeah. When I wasn't free, I remember one day going to the office. It was like 6 in the morning or five something, with a newborn in the house. It was like 6 months old, something like that. My kid, working 12 hours a day, even more. Sometimes weekends. It was really, really bad. I mean, I made some money to, have food on the table, pay the rent and all that. But really, I wasn't at home at all. I just was working, right?
Yeah.
Um, Missing everything important from,
Right.
from my life.
Right, right.
Uh,
Whether you're working or whether you're so exhausted when you're tired that you don't really want to be awake, or you're so exhausted when you're home that you don't really want to be awake, you're
yeah,
essentially missing everything when you're working so much. I
yeah.
understand that.
Actually, I have a lot of pictures that I arrived home, I played with my kid, and I just fell asleep. My kid is still playing, but I sleep in the floor
Right.
because I was so tired.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. And well, right now it's totally the opposite. I work from home, as you can maybe see in the background.
Well, you've got it
Um,
blurred. You've got it blurred, but I believe you.
yeah. Yeah, I work from home. I can take my kids to school. I can wake them up, give them breakfast. I can play with
Take a
them if
nap.
they are right
Take
here.
a
Yeah,
nap with them together now, just like a
yeah,
normal nap, not just because you're so exhausted from working 12 hours.
yeah. Exactly,
Man,
exactly.
that's great. That's great, Omar. Golly, man. I mean, so many people come in and you got I would say that things are easier now than when you started back 3 or 4 years ago, by the way. I don't know exactly when you got started, but just with the short form videos going a little crazier now than it
Mhm.
was back when you got started. I don't think TikTok was even really out yet, was it?
No, 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 no. Just in China, maybe, but no,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a
yeah.
global thing.
So this is a good example also of how difficult it used to be, um, compared to what it is now. And this is not a
Mhm.
guarantee that every single person is going to have massive success because, um, golly, man, I mean, nothing's a guarantee in life, right? Nothing's a guarantee in life. But what's happened over the last like 2 to 2.5 years or so is, the short form video has popped up, and people are able to make videos without even talking now, just using text on the screen with TikTok, and it's really revolutionized the way that people get traffic. And so you have a good life now, and that's great. You just continue down that path, and that's wonderful that these skills have helped you to get that life. Your determination, you earned that. It's not the skills that did that for you, because guess what, folks? Let me hit you with some real talk real quick. The skills are here for anybody to learn and use, but not everybody learns and uses them. Period. So the fact that you took the skills and then figured, you got started back when, again, this was prior to short form video. Things were harder back then. We things are getting easier with new technology. But I'll tell you what is so inspiring about what you did was that you're sitting there uploading long form YouTube videos, and I mean you're working your ass off. I know you were.
Mhm.
And instead of saying screw this is a scam or whatever, you said, how can I take these skills and serve businesses that need that don't know these skills. I have these skills now, and
Mhm.
there's lots of different things that I can do with these skills. The same way that if I learned the same way that how my father taught me how to be a carpenter and taught me how to lay ceramic tile and remodel bathrooms and kitchens, that if I needed to, Omar, I could go anywhere in the world and I could use that skill. The same thing when folks go through this training and they hang out in this community and they learn these skills, why certainly you can apply them to the things that we are showing you to apply them to, like affiliate marketing and so forth. But they also happen to apply that maybe you're working at a job right now and you want to make more money fast. And so you go to your employer and you say, I'd like to take over some more responsibility and try some marketing campaigns with some new skills that I've developed. And I think that it can bring in more revenue to the company. And I'd like a piece of that. See,
Yeah.
sometimes we can do a lot more with what we have rather than just, you know, rather than just only looking at the thing that's right in front of our face. You know what I mean? It's like almost only reading the first page of a book when there's an entire book there of adventure and ideas and feelings and experiences. What's coming up for you as you're listening to this? Does it feel like it fits for you?
Sorry, me, you mean?
Yeah, does this make sense? I mean, does this feel like it fits for what you went through, and what would you add to it? What's coming up for you as I'm saying some of this about the the power of using
Mhm.
these skills? And I mean, I'm just trying to explain the power of what you've done here, which is use the skills and taking them to help grow other companies, including your own.
Mhm.
um, but mainly go and say, hey, I've got these skills. I can help your company grow now. I can help your company grow. I can help your company grow. It's just such a powerful thing. I'm just trying to convey that to people, that when you're going through this challenge and when you're going through these blueprints and you're going through this training, that there's so much more to it than what initially meets the eye. If you'll
Mhm.
just stick around and learn the skills, they'll be useful and they'll be profitable to you, likely for the rest of your life. Do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, what you teach lead generation, right? The copywriting, some of the technical stuff, funnel, etc. Sales, and yeah, people just see like maybe the ABC, like okay, I need lead generation through a funnel, do some copywriting to make sales, like the short part, the first page, as you said. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can really take just one of those skills and just improve your current life, or change it for a new one.
Yeah.
Sales. Everyone hate sales. When they talk about sales, it's like I don't want to sell, but we are actually selling ourselves daily, just with mm, how can I say, a change in the message that we say to our boss is selling ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
same with
It's so
copywriting.
just writing in email, just upgrading your email writing skills. And I'm not even talking about when you're mass emailing your prospects, like everybody on your list. I'm just talking about when you're emailing people one on one.
Mhm.
The majority of messages that I receive from people do not make me want to pursue more interaction with them. It doesn't make me want to do more business or do business with them at all. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't, it doesn't tease or tantalize my emotions or my mind. It's flat. Usually
Mhm.
most writing is flat, it's boring, it's incomplete, and it's confusing. And Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, said, if you want to increase the amount of money that you earn, improve your communication. Period. Improve your communication. And that means, as you said, the written word as well. And it's absolutely amazing how much selling you can actually do without ever running your mouth and saying a single word when you learn how to communicate via the written word, more persuasively. Do you agree with that? And your life actually gets easier because you don't have to constantly have long conversations where you're explaining yourself in wasting energy with people because you can't explain your idea. Have you
Yeah,
experienced that?
it's exactly the same for me. I don't have magic words like you do, right? You really have a really good speech. I'm not. I'm just the shy guy that it's complicated to uh, keep a conversation. But when I write, just to put you an example, okay, in my business, sometimes I write copy for email. Sometimes write another of my colleagues, my partners. Um, when he writes, we have like a 10% open rate, percentage of spam, like a 2%, something like that.
Yeah.
When I write, is zero go to spam, 20, 30, then 40 open rates.
Mm,
Obviously much more clicks, right? So there's the difference between knowing how to write or what to write and don't.
exactly. Exactly. Um, and it's simple things, isn't it? It's simple
Mm.
things. It's not really complicated stuff. It's learning how to hook somebody's attention. You mentioned an open rate.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with a video on TikTok. It's like, how do you get somebody to click it, or a video on YouTube, or a blog post? You learned that when you started blogging and when you were YouTubing, the power of that headline to get somebody to open that video or open that email. Just that headline alone is so important. The headline that you use on the top of your bridge page, it's so important, or on the top of your funnel, it's so important. And uh, there you go. The data doesn't lie. You're actually now in a position to where you can test your writing against somebody else's, and you can see the difference that those skills that you've invested in have made in your life, and they're profitable for you and others, right? It's real differences in conversion when you know copywriting and when you don't, and when you know how to effectively space out. Another great example of in just, who would like just a quick copywriting tip, just if you want just something now? Anybody want something now that you can? And Omar, you probably watched me teach this before, or uh saw me talk about the Hemingway app. Have you ever heard me talk about that?
No, I think not. So show us, please.
Yeah, I'll show you. So the Hemingway app is a, let's see here. It's an editor. Can you see that?
Hmm.
I'll make it a little bit
Yeah.
bigger. So the Hemingway app makes your writing bold and clear, and it literally is an app. Like, it's an app, and it'll show you how it works. I can delete all this right here, but this app highlights lengthy, complex sentences and common errors. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it. If you see a red highlight, your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering, splitting logic. Try editing this sentence to remove the red, right? So they're
Yeah.
actually giving you an example sentence that is, as it says right here, it's very hard to read, right?
Hmm.
Um, it even gives you other tips, but for me, the most important part is my writing. Is it difficult and confusing to read, right? And so the first thing that I'm going to do with this sentence, right? I'm going to fix this sentence that they actually use right there on the homepage of their app. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two sentences and I'm going to turn them in from one paragraph into two. when I take my paragraphs and I move and I create 2 or 3 paragraphs from one, I create more white space. It's easier to read, right? If you look at any of the large sites like Facebook or YouTube or Google, you'll notice that there's lots of white space. You'll never find lots of text clumped together in any advanced company, or anybody who knows what they're doing in terms of conversions and getting people to be able to understand and read the page. There's going to be lots of white space, right? So that's really important when we're writing. This says it's a hard to read. This app highlights lengthy, complex sentences and common errors. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it. So this is a great example of how they teach you how to write in school, right? Lots of nice little grammar, whatever the hell that thing's called. I don't even know, a semicolon. I'm a ninth grade dropout. But what I can tell you is that this is hard to read, and it's telling you that it's hard to read. So I would do this. This app highlights lengthy, complex sentences, period. Then I'm going to create a space, right? Or I could do lengthy comments and common errors, period. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it, period. And I literally create a new paragraph. If you see a red highlight, your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering, splitting logic. So the easiest thing I can do right there is put a period. It's still hard to read. If you see a red highlight, so I might do this, right? Boom, boom, boom. Your sentence is so dense and complicated, boom, 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 that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meander. So one thing that I like to do as well that's really creative is sometimes I'll do something like this. Your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering, splitting logic, right? That's just a period. Try, and I might italicize that. You know what I mean? Or something, if I really want to make that, try editing this sentence to remove the red, right? That's a
bold
that's like a bold, yeah, like that's like try editing. So, but anyways, let's just stay focused on making this easy to read, right? Because that's the most important thing, and that's the biggest thing that most young marketers really overlook is just clarity. Omar, clarity, brother. Have you ever been talking to your are you married?
Well, girlfriend, but with 2 kids, so it's like Mario.
Okay. You said did you say okay, so you have a partner, right? Do you have a life partner? Have you ever been sitting there talking to her and just you're talking and she's just not really understanding you? You can just tell she's confused, right? Just like she's like, "What are you saying?" And the problem is that you're just not being clear, right? You're just not being clear. Another problem is that have you ever been involved in a situation where you send an email or you send a message, a text message or a Facebook message, and that one question turned into a bunch of back and forth? Have you ever done that before?
Yeah. When I was in my full-time job, we had a change of emails and emails and emails that.
Oh my God, it's like never ending, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the reason why is just, and I had that a lot too, is just because I didn't take the time to be more clear in my initial email, right? So if I would have taken the time to be more clear, to really make sure that I covered all my, any questions that somebody might have had, as they were reading my email, or giving them additional context or whatever, it's just, if they're not clear, they're going to just send an email back. Or you know what, the other thing and the worst thing that's going to happen, and this also happens to guys who, and I heard somebody giving this tip. It was somebody on a just randomly on a TikTok channel giving a dating tip to guys when they were texting women to if you want her to text you back, don't say anything complicated to where she has to think really hard if you're first meeting her. The reason is because people in their day-to-day activities don't want to have to really stop and think to respond to people who are just, you know what I mean, like trying to date them or whatever. So his dating tip was keep it light, keep it, keep it clear. Don't make her have to think too hard about responding to you or your question or whatever. And the same thing is so true with when you're writing to anyone, even in business, especially if you're writing to leads, people who you're a cold audience. Do you think that they're going to stop their life and sit there and think about what you wrote to try to clean it up and clear it up for you because you wrote it in a confusing way? Hell no. They're going to move on. They're going to keep scrolling, right?
For me, for example, as a customer, I just read in E, I read the first sentence, then I read a bunch of words of the other sentence, and then a full sentence, but I don't read the full thing. So if it's too long, too crowded, I'm just not going to read like half of it. It's just I'm going to miss all the information. This way that you are showing the Hemingway app is much easier because we have the white space, so you can actually read the full sentence without overloading your head.
Well, now what most people will do is actually even worse than this. So these were the this was what I edited. So let me just paste it down here, and I'll show you what a lot of people do is they'll do this deal right here. Hold on, let me let me know if you've ever seen the big block. Anybody ever seen the big block? Whoa,
Yeah.
man. The big block. I look at this right here and my eyes glaze over and I go, no way.
No, I just see format in bold.
I just see blah. I see letters, just letters everywhere. Very difficult to get somebody to read something like that, especially in an email, especially on a cell phone when they're staring at their cell phone and it's already hard to read on their cell phone, or when they're staring, in some app like YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, it's already hard to read. You'll see this similarity in a lot of things though. If we go over here to sales pages, our online business. So if we go over here to our sales page, are you still able to see my screen here?
No, we still see the Hemingway app.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring you to this this other screen, and this is our challenge. Our sales funnel, and notice the layout. Notice this is a little clumpy, but it's split up. It's also split up, but notice the white space. It draws you in. And the reason why with your sales funnels and so forth, that design is not important. The reason why ugly converts better is because you actually want people's eyes drawn to the words, not so much drawn to, silly designs that don't matter. If you have a half a second for them to put their eyes on something and read it or look at it, I want them to read my headline, not get lost, in the beautiful design of the website. And so that's why you'll always see, or you'll mostly see a lot of white space with any good sales funnel. And you'll see with this writing that I just, showed you in the Hemingway app, you'll see a lot of that writing and you'll see a lot of that style in all of my marketing, because that white space is so important. And, having, giving somebody the ability to easily read something. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Why is every single sentence, even if it's only 4 or 5 words, why does it have its own line? Well, because, I mean, in this particular section, when it comes to the 30-day refund guarantee, I wanted to make it as absolutely clear as possible. And the psychology behind this was I didn't want it to look like, quote, small print. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Most small print is where they get you. And I wanted that text to be more clear and absolutely easy to read. So the psychology of the reader is like, okay, this person has nothing to hide. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, and actually, talking about this, about the difference between a ugly page and a beautiful page, as I have built several funnels, I have proof of that ugly pages with a good layout work much better than any pretty page with a big spend on images, photos, etc.
Yeah,
Literally, same product, two different pages, one ugly, one beautiful, and the ugly perform much better. Yeah,
it
that's true.
does. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. But I don't even bother with fancy designs anymore. I mean, I don't bother with like trying to get a designer to, I mean, I build every single page inside of ClickFunnels, and we either just use ClickFunnels, or like if it's on our main site, we might have our developer turn that design into code. But and that's way over my pay grade. In my head, I don't know how that's done. It's code and mathematicians and all this kind of stuff. It's about a who, not a how. You got to know the right who's. I don't want to know how. Um, but Sarah Valentine makes a good questions, a good comment. At least when you're doing and hi Sarah, good to see you. Remember you from the mastermind, you and your dad. The colors, if you're doing a bridge, if you're doing affiliate marketing, just like we teach that right there in the challenge on day 3, like building a congruent funnel that where the colors and so forth match whatever the offer is that you're promoting. So it looks like, because I think the biggest secret of marketing is just really putting ourselves in our prospect shoes, right? And it's like, what would you think if you went from Facebook or TikTok to a funnel, a site, and you don't know it's a funnel because you're not thinking, you're just a regular person. You're not thinking, oh, there's a sales funnel, you're just thinking, oh, here's an ugly page. Okay. But I'm reading, it has something that I want. So I'm going to put my email in, and then I go to a bridge page. Then I get sent to a page that looks completely different over here. And I'm going to think there's something wrong. I'm going to think, and then I'm going to get confused and scared. I might leave. So good point, Sarah, bringing that up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's simple things that make the big difference, but it usually is the simple stuff. It's not the big stuff, right?
Actually, the trick is to let people not to think a lot. As you said before, don't make them think about the question. Just really small sentences, clear content. Don't make them think. If you give people 2 options,
that's a great. I just want to don't make them think, and that goes back even to that texting story that I was talking about, right? Where the guy was giving the dating tip. And actually, I remember what he said. Now, he said, don't make her think. Like, it's like, don't make you, the second that somebody like has to think about something, you have to do the thinking and think about where they just came from. They came from TikTok, or they came from surfing the internet. They weren't thinking hard. They were scrolling. So that's why keeping things light and simple and clear and even a little bit entertaining, thank you for bringing that up. It's so important.
Yeah, I see it. I see it every day. Is yeah, that's the complicated of the part of the business, but it's actually also easy because you need to think how not to think. It's
You do. You need to think how not to think. You know what's interesting is that I'm sitting here having a conversation with you. We're both now marketing guys, right? We're marketing guys, and
Mhm.
it's so cool that you came in to let, and gosh, you were really back when you were here when we first got started, really. I mean, and wow, before TikTok even got hot and all that. And you were grinding through on blogging and YouTubing, and you were like, you're like, screw it, I'm gonna try something different with these skills. And
Mhm.
you stayed in the industry, you stayed in the game, you know and you found your way. And there's a lot of personal responsibility that I want to highlight there, that you showed. And I just would like you to just say more about that, just for a moment, if you would, about this idea of taking initiative versus entitlement.
Mhm.
And what does that mean to you? And how have you changed, maybe to somebody who takes more initiative? But at the end of the day, the buck stops with you, and nobody's coming to save you. And as much as that's a tough message, I don't want to be mean about it. I want to I want to I want to share your experience and our other students and legendary family members'
Mhm.
experience of how did you go and just take this whole initiative thing to another level, so you can have the freedom that you have now, versus you could have so easily thrown in the towel and said, oh, this doesn't work or whatever. But you pivoted just a little bit and took the initiative to stay in the game. And I wonder if you would just say a few words about that.
Well, okay, it's like is it's like that. I mean, it's not that you need to work 8 hours a day on this side hustle if you are starting right now. You need to work really hard. You just need to work something. Okay, every day push a little bit further, right? Just a little bit. Even if you are today you are tired and maybe you don't do the 3 full hours so that you want to do, or you just do one, but you do something, and little by little, you will reach the point that you are so far from when you started that you will have your freedom, or your happiness. At the end, is happiness what we pursue. Doesn't matter the country, the language, the religion, whatever. We pursue
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah, and I like the concept of just doing a little bit every day. I think that we want to get to the top of the mountain so fast that
Mhm.
or to the end of the race or whatever we think that we're in, and it's just not a race. I was listening to I live in St. Pete, which is Tampa Bay. So we have the American football team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we had a Hall of Fame player named Derek Brooks, who is retired. And I just learned last night, because I saw him on the news, that he is an executive for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is our American Tampa Bay hockey team, who's in the Stanley Cup Finals right now. And he's working as a top executive there and all this. And it reminded me that even if you have an amazing career, in something, that
Mhm.
you're probably still going to want to do something else. You know what I mean? And here he is. He's 60 or 55 or 50 or whatever he is. I don't know. And he's got tens of millions of dollars. He may even be worth hundreds of millions. I don't know. He's a Hall of Fame football player. And here he is with a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? And it just
Uh,
goes to show that you never, my point is that there's no rush. you're always going to want to be doing something. I know some of you are thinking, well, no, Dave, I want to retire. And yes, you want to retire from what you're doing right now. You want to retire from the shit job that you don't like. I understand that. I get that.
Mhm.
But imagine if you had something that you enjoyed that you did from home that you could do for even when you're traveling. I don't think that you would be as excited to want to retire from that. So I think it's about perspective, and it's also about realizing, as you said, there's no rush. Do a little bit every day, because it's not like you're gonna once you get into this, if you start making money in this and you're successful, it's gonna become fun. You're not gonna want to stop. So just take your time, ease into it, get good at it, and I promise you, you're not gonna want to retire. Bob Proctor, the number one in my opinion. You know who Bob is? He just passed away. Okay.
I didn't know he
Bob,
passed away, but he was
yeah,
like 70, 80, how much?
80 years old. 80 years
80
old,
years
like
old.
80. Okay. Bob Proctor, 80 years old, this guy was still doing events, still kicking ass and taking names. The guy's a badass. And he died. He just died. He just did an event not too long ago. I mean, so it's like, look, when you're doing what you love, you go talk to Michael Jordan, you go talk to Magic Johnson, you go talk to Ray Dalio, you go talk to Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, who's 99 years old, and ask them, why aren't you retired?
They are
Because
retired.
they you know what their answer is? When you find something that you love, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
And if you're miserable, then you ain't found something that you love yet. Maybe you'll love this. Maybe you'll love this. I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to say, but I damn sure know that you'll love freedom. And entrepreneurship is the number one way to get freedom in any country in the world.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that when I was working in the office job, in the full-time job, I counted the days to have a free day, right?
Right.
To have a weekend or a holiday, whatever.
Right.
Right now, I almost work every day, doing even something, just a little stuff. But I work every day, and I know I won't stop until probably I die. I will work every day because I enjoy it.
Right. It's true, man. I mean, my wife's probably sitting in the other room going, "Oh God," But I mean, the truth is that, you know, why would I ever? I mean, I'm pretty much retired now in terms of if you looked at my lifestyle, you know. I mean, it's just I'm at home. I'm at home every day. I mean, we own a second home that we work out of. I mean, it's I'm not go out on the boat, go home if I want. It's like a retired life. There's people who are retired in my neighborhood, and I'm at home more than they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even get dressed sometimes, like actually take a shower. It's unbelievable. I mean, not for days and days on end, but I don't get up and run to the shower and I'm like, oh, got to get ready and shave and shit and shower and get off to work or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, I
so
grab my coffee and start working here
grab
at
my
my.
coffee, put on a pair of pants, and just grab a shirt off the floor and go to work. You know what I mean? Sit down. I've always been like that. Just what do you need? Because I got stressed out at trying to get ready for work. Getting ready for work used to drive me fucking crazy, Omar. The
Yeah.
scramble, bro. The scramble of trying to get ready and get out the door in the morning. is like a trauma to me that I
Yeah, but it's a trauma that they teach us from the very beginning. Right now, my kids, right now they have finished the school, but during the whole year, waking up a specific time, running if you want to have some breakfast, running to get dressed, running to the school, uh, it's so
I
strict.
know it's hard to teach our kids these disciplines when they're really not that fun. But no, you're right. I mean, my kids are going to be way better than I am. My daughter gets up at the crack ass of dawn every morning, and she's bright eyed and bushy tailed, ready to kick the day's ass. So um, but golly, man, I mean, it's amazing what you can do with some simple skills. Breaks are not handed out to anybody. They're earned,
Mhm.
and you got to go out and you got to get it, and you got to, most of all, I think, just not quit, but at a certain point, if you are doing something that is absolutely not working or you hate, then pivot. Don't just keep continuing to slam your head into a wall. Pivot. That's what marketing and being an entrepreneur is all about. It's about pivoting a little bit, with the economy, or pivoting a little bit with your business model, or pivoting a little bit with the skills that you now learn and
Mhm.
starting something new. And that's what you did, and it's a wonderful story. I'm so thrilled to have you and reconnect with you this morning. And leave us with the final word. What would you say to somebody who's a little bit unsure, doesn't know if they want to do affiliate marketing, doesn't know if they want it, but they want freedom, and they've
Mhm.
looked at some other things out there. They've looked at Amazon, they've looked at drop shipping, and they're on the doorstep of our community, and they're ready, they're dipping their toe, but they're not sure if they really want to kind of jump in and really fully immerse themselves in learning and getting into the industry of entrepreneurship and online marketing. What do you say to that person?
I would say to them, consume this content. Okay, absorb this knowledge that a legendary marketer gives you, and put it into practice. Doesn't need to be a long practice, like you are going to build the full business around this specific skill or this specific skill. Just try to understand if that resonates with you. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe you don't like TikTok and you like YouTube. You enjoy more YouTube, or you enjoy Facebook or Instagram, whatever. Just try a little to understand if that resonates with you, and start building piece by piece on those pieces that actually um, makes you feel good. Okay, with your business, and give you
Yeah.
results. Obviously.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a part of seeing every part of the business. There's a famous watch brand called Patek Philippe, and it's a family owned company, and that's part of its mystique, is that it's a family owned company.
Mhm.
It's owned by the Stern family, and the CEO Terry has a son that's coming up, and he wants to try to train him to be to take over the company, right? And so he said, the way that he's trained him is, he says, you have to go and learn how to make a watch. You have to sit in and do those, just at least experience those. And that's similar to what you just said. I feel like it's like, if you eventually want to get to a place to where you have freedom in this industry and freedom in an online business, then get in and learn how the various pieces of the industry work. Learn
Mhm.
how the social media platforms work. Learn how sales funnels work. Learn how autoresponders work. These are the basic tools that we've used on the internet to make money for years and years. And whether you do it for yourself or whether you take the skills and you go and do it for somebody else, you learn those pieces that you mentioned, that I'm mentioning, that we teach here. It's not a lot. It's building a sales funnel. It's using email marketing. It's then creating content and driving traffic.
Mhm.
That's the basics. And but there's a lot of things you can experience, a lot of social media platforms and a lot of ways you can write your copy and so forth. So learning that, experiencing that, so you can then become the CEO of the greatest company, sort of like the Patek Philippe thing. You're that young son or daughter or person that's coming up. Learn the industry, understand that anything that's great does require that. Hey, let me go in, experience each department and get a little bit of experience so I can talk intelligently about it, instead of just being a fluke, or instead of just getting lucky and not knowing how I made the money and then not being able to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. It just brings
So,
everything.
hey man, it was so great to see you, buddy. Okay, you take care and keep up the wonderful work, and stay safe. And you're in Spain, right?
Yeah, correct. Actually, I moved from Zaragoza, which is in the middle, more or less, to the west coast, close to Portugal.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, I'd love to make it over to Spain. It's one of the countries I haven't been to yet. Been to Italy and a few around there, but
Mm,
yeah, we'll come back over there and maybe we'll catch up with you. And you do
sure.
the same if you come to Florida.
Yeah, I actually want to go to Florida. Go to New York, see, show the kids in the States. I really want to.
Yeah, we were
Hopefully,
supposed to get together at the event, a couple of years ago, but we
in
ended up not
Cabo.
doing that. So
Mm,
so but anyways, man, it's good to see you, and awesome work, incredible stuff. So happy for you and your family. And come back and let's do another round here in a few months.
Whenever you want, I'm ready.
All right, Omar. We'll see you later, buddy. Thanks.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, my friends. I didn't give out any social media channels for Omar because he's sort of working behind the scenes with these skills, serving and doing agency work and so forth, which is a really cool thing. It's amazing what you can do with these skills. And I always say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So let's say that you come in here and you've got a full-time job, which so many people do. Um, and you're learning these skills, so many people think, well, let me just get out of this job. Just do, let me just do a shitty job. I want to get rid of the job. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start my business. I'm going to really kick major ass in my business. But the truth is that I've experienced is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I think this morning, I think this morning um, is a great lesson and a great reminder that, when I'm coming in and I'm learning these skills, that I have no idea where this is going to take me. I have no idea how I can use these skills until I actually go through the training and think about it and actually look at my life and say, wait a second. Okay, let me assess okay, I got a job. I'm learning skills. I want to make more money. I want to have my own business. But Dave said how I do one thing is how I do everything. So hold on, I can't quit my job yet because I need it. I need to pay my bills. So let me go and do an absolutely kick-ass job at my job. Let me even take some of these skills that I'm learning and see if I can be of value to my employer in a bigger, better way. Let me even see if I can make some more money, right? And if I can't, great. If they don't want to pay me more, I'm getting to practice these skills on somebody else's business for free, right? It's kind of like that's a cool perspective to me to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, wow. So we're always, I think, just in such a rush to just quit the job or get rich or, you know, and there's so many lessons and valuable things that we can take advantage of along the way that I think so many of us miss out on. And you want to freaking stop wasting the time, folks. Stop giving up the opportunity. Stop missing the big I'm just I it's like and it's not just here. every situation, all of us. I mean, we could always do more, but I'm just saying, if you're here already, for God's sakes, if you're gonna be going through the training and you're just gonna be spending your time here already, why not really just squeeze every drop out of it, even if you're squeezing it out of your current job? To me, winners win, man. No matter where they're winning and how they're winning, and losers lose. Winners don't lose, but go win over here only for myself. No, winners, like Michael Jordan, didn't just win for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan won for Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Steve Kerr and Phil Jackson and the Bulls owner. Champions lift other people up too. You know what I mean? Champions lift other people up too. So, like, what I'm saying is, Omar has inspired in me this morning this fire to remind you that there's not a one size fits all. There's not a one size fits all. That this isn't, and there's nothing against MLM, but this is not MLM. This is not just go and sell our products or do. This is a university. This is a leadership factory that if you want to step into the best version of yourself, you can do that. And you can do that by taking the skills and going and being an absolute badass at your current, whatever you're doing today. Not tomorrow, not in 6 months when you're going to be rich, but today. Today, be that legend. Today, put your average self just to the side and step into the most legendary, badass version of yourself that you can, by, even if you take these skills and you use them in your current job that you someday want to quit. That's showing up like a legend, man. That's showing up like a legend. And that's what Omar is. Be legendary, my friends. Have a great weekend. Do something impactful and make today a defining moment in your business, whether you're starting or you're starting over. Just be legendary and fuck average.